Surprising Pelicans signing incoming? The Pelicans are favored to land a former two-time All-Star and former number 2 overall draft pick to possibly add some veteran presence to a very young roster. We're going to take a look at this possible signing and see if it's a good fit inside this edition of Pelicans Digest. What's good with it, everybody? It's your people, Melz On The MIC, and thank you once again for tuning in to Pelicans Digest on this, what is this, a Wednesday, Thursday? I don't even know what day it is, man. It's Thursday, but we back in full effect. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for subscribing, man. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. This is where you get the best analysis, opinion, and more about the New Orleans Pelicans and what's going on as we get ready for the season. And if we got some time today, we're going to talk about what happened in Summer League. That's if we got time. If we don't, we'll do it in another video at another time. But right now, there's a lot of reports and a lot of news going out about the Pelicans possibly going after a former All-Star to add to their to add more veteran depth to this roster. I know a lot of y'all have been saying that y'all want more veteran talent and y'all want more veteran presence on this roster, especially in the guard position. Some of y'all have been clamoring for Chris Paul. Some folks have clamored for Malcolm Brogdon at times. But I found this one very interesting. This report that's coming out about a player that at his peak was an all-star and also an elite defender. And I'm talking about Victor Oladipo. Now, before you go crazy, you're like, where he come from? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you what's going on. According to CBS Sports, the two-time former all-star Victor Oladipo, who's now 33 years old, was part of a well-attended private workout in Las Vegas on Monday morning with a large contingent of NBA and European teams attending. Oladipo played full court 5-on-5 in a group workout of international pros. Multiple team sources in attendance came away impressed. This is according to Jeremy Woo. Now, and from what I've been hearing as well, one of the reports is that the Pelicans sent representatives and were in attendance at this workout for Oladipo. Okay? So let's take a look at it. Now, let's be honest here. Oladipo has not played since 2023 when he was in the playoffs with Miami and he suffered another injury. And on the one hand, if you're the Pelicans, I can see why you went to go check out his workout to see if he's okay and he's still good and he's still able to play. Because you can never, especially as of right now, as we know, probably it's tough to say, but who's our best defensive guard right now in the guard position? Who do you think is the best out of Murray, Fears, maybe even Jose at point guard, especially, or even at shooting guard? Who's our best defensive guard right now? It's tough to say. To be honest with you, it's tough to say. We got a lot of guys that can put points on the board, but it's tough to say who's our best defensive guard right now on this Pels team. So if you're the Pels, you are probably looking at a Victor Oladipo, who at one point was an elite defender, and saying to yourself, okay, maybe we could bring this guy in to give us some minutes off the bench and also not so much score, but to also hold down the fort in the guard position. But, okay, there's two trains of thoughts here that makes me be A, possibly for it, and B, possibly against it. And I'm going to give you those two right now. And this is based off the report from Jasmine Wimbush and CBS Sports. At his peak, Oladipo was an all-star level player, capable of 20 points a game and providing all defensive level defense on the other end. Here's the other part, though. Injuries have plagued Oladipo in his last several years in the league, as he hasn't played 50-plus games since 2018. So, again, on the one hand, you got the potential of what he could bring to the table and definitely add to this team as far as in defense and also give you 20. But you also got injuries. And this is something we know as Pels fans all too damn well about injuries. And so, in my opinion, I don't think this signing is going to happen, despite the Pelicans being one of the favorites. I think Vegas has him as like maybe the third or fourth best odds to try to acquire him. I think Miami might be taking a look, and also Indiana. I think Indiana right now may be the favorites to bring him back. But if you're the Pelicans, and as a fan of the Pelicans, and you know that this team has a rich history of injuries, And I don't know if you want to put that on the medical staff or whatever, but knowing that your medical staff probably ain't worth the damn, you might not want to take a look at this guy. Unfortunately, you might not want to sign this guy because of the fact that he has been injury prone. Plus, he's been out of the game for almost 2 years now. For nearly 2 seasons now, he has not played any real organized team basketball, professional basketball. So to take a risk on a guy like that, in my opinion, may not be good for the Pels. I don't think it's good for the Pels. I think you go into the season feeling good about the roster and hoping that, because right now, we're going into the season just hoping everybody that we have now on the roster can be healthy. That's the only, because again, we've said this repeatedly and ad nauseum on this show. The only problem with the Pelicans and their roster right now is health and availability. And if you want to bring in a guy that hasn't even been playing basketball for the last 2 seasons and then to bring him on the bench and then possibly pay this man to not even get any real time in, I think it's a bad, and possibly be injured again. I don't think it's a good move. I just don't. I don't see the Pelicans making this signing, but I do want to know your thoughts on it. Do you want to see a Victor Oladipo? Do you want some more veteran guard presence on this team, especially after what we just saw in Summer League? Listen, and about Summer League, and we'll get into that in a second, but I want to know your thoughts on the Oladipo situation. Do you want the Pelicans to sign him? Do you think he'll be a good fit for the Pels? Tell me your thoughts on this in the comments. But I want to get back in the Summer League real quick and talk about that and circle back on that because, of course, the Pels wrap up Summer League winless. But at the end of the day, that's neither here nor there. What I saw in the game last night, especially in the first quarter and the first half, was them actually running a damn offense, actually passing the ball around. Nobody was trying to be stingy. And lo and behold, the results, the Pels had like a 10-point lead at some point, was up big on Oklahoma City because they were passing the ball around. And shout out to Jeremiah Fears because while Queen, Peavy, and Missy were held out of the game, they put Fears in. And you can see why they put Fears in. To tell him, get out there and showcase your ability to pass the ball. And that's what he did. It was probably his most complete game so far in Summer League. That last game, last night against the Thunder, was Jeremiah Fears' most complete game so far. Over 20 points, had 6 assists, also had a bunch of rebounds as well. And that was great to see. Because somebody clearly watched my video yesterday when I said, if he wants to be a top 2 point guard in the NBA, you have got to be able to pass the ball. You have got to pass the ball and make your other guys look good. And Jeremiah Fears did that last night. It was a fantastic job. So big shout out to him. Let's go ahead and get him ready for the season. I already see they took PV and Missy down and also Queen out, getting them ready for the season and get them in training camp. So last night's game, what you saw was, in the first half, was excellent team basketball. Then the second half, you've seen it devolve back into the usual chaos that it is when it comes to the Pels and offensive basketball. It was once again a whole bunch of ISOs, went right back to ISO. But the main reason what you saw last night was all those guys who were at the bottom of that Summer League roster was able to get some burn. And also a lot of those guys that are probably not going to make this team get some burn. Now, Antonio Reeves, I think I've been saying give Antonio Reeves his contract back, but Trey Alexander came through and stunned on him last night. Trey Alexander came through and gave you 25 last night. And you got him on the two-way, so I think him and Dickinson doesn't, I don't want Dickinson on the permanent roster. I've seen enough of that. I've seen how he moves offensively. Too slow, way too slow. Way slow to react, can't get into pick and roll situations quicker and faster enough. Send him down to Birmingham and let him work on that. He got to go to Birmingham and work on that. Trey Alexander showed out last night and also showed out why I think he was one of the reasons why the Pels, when it got him to compete against Antonio Reeves. Now, Antonio Reeves fell off a cliff last night. He fell off a cliff last night. I don't know what to say about that. As big as I've been on Antonio Reeves over the Summer League, he fell off a cliff to me last night. Chase Hunter, another guy that I was big on. Didn't see much from him. Don't think he's going to make the permanent roster. Now, Christian Shoemate, 10 rebounds last night. I want that on my team. I don't care about the scoring. I've said this before, and I've told you this before. The Pelicans last season has been in the bottom 10 of rebounding in the NBA. One of the bottom 10 teams in rebounding overall in the NBA. I want rebounding on the team. Now, if you want to put them on a two-way, that's cool with me. I would say enough with Lester Quinones experiment. You had him for 2 seasons. You still probably don't know what to do with him. Let's move on from him and let's go ahead and get Shoemate in there and see if we can develop him. Because he's a freak athlete, and again, 10 rebounds last night. If anything, he's going to clean the glass for you. So I would like to see him on the team in some way, shape, or form. Maybe in the G League, maybe even way down deep in the depth roster. But I would like to see, I would like to see the Pelicans develop that guy. I really would like to see the Pelicans hang on to him and develop him and see if there's something that they can either get a shot on him off or make him work a little bit on the offense. But his defense is there. I've seen him work last night. So Christian Shoemate is there. AJ Hoggard gone. He's gone. I don't know who else is gone, but a whole lot of guys were gone. But last night, in that first half, I remember just sitting there going, well, damn. I just kept saying, damn, look at all the good things that happen when you actually pass and move the ball around and run an offense outside of ISO. Again, ISO is cool in certain situations, but we saw a complete game from Jeremiah Fears, so I think he's going to be fine. Like I said before, he's going to be fine. Queen is going to be fine. He's a double-double machine. PV is your heir apparent to Herb Jones. And Missy, while still raw, still has the potential to be great. He just continues to need to work on his offensive game. He needs to continue to work on his offensive game and how to move around and move with the offensive players and the guys on the floor. But, I might come back and do a total breakdown of the Summer League situation. But for now, I would say this. Again, no need to panic. No need to panic as a Pels fan. Like I said in the video yesterday, there's no need to panic. Just because they ain't winning in the Summer League, yes, it was disappointing as a fan, as somebody that loves your team, they want to see your team win, but it was more about the evaluation and what we got to saw. And last night we saw a lot of determining factors and seeing and we probably will find out the results here pretty soon on how this is all going to turn out, who's going to stay and who's going to go. But I think last night was more of a definitive statement on who we can see is going to stay and who we can see is not going to stay with this Pelicans franchise. What are your thoughts on it, though? Who was your favorite in Summer League? Did you like what you see with Jeremiah Fears and others? What did you like about Summer League? Clap back with your thoughts in the comments. Also, what do you think about the Pels possibly going after Victor Oladipo? Want to know your thoughts on that possible signing. All that. Just keep the conversation going, baby, because that's what we do here at Pelicans Digest. And once again, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, baby. What you waiting for? And don't forget that it's Melz talking about them Pels, giving you the best analysis, opinions, and more right here on Pelicans Digest. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time.